and welcome to When the Cookie Crumbles. I am your host, Susan Reg, and I'm ecstatic today because I have someone here who I just love, one of my personal heroes. We have Miss Astrid Washington. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here, and so that we're just gonna dive right into this. I want you to tell the people who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Astrid Celeste Washington. I am a sister, a daughter, the best aunt in the world.
And you're a mommy?
I am a dog mom.
Yeah.
To my Belarus. What I do, I work for the Orlando Utilities Commission. This is my 24th year of service to the commission. I absolutely love my job. And currently my role is I manage process improvement and quality control. So I'm like the police. I make sure everyone is in accordance to all processes and procedures.
And I'll finish that off, and she's kind of a big deal too, okay? So what I love about this show is it's about real people, about real stories, and we're using it to empower people and to help people. So can you kind of tell people, do you have a story? Tell us about your story.
Well, where do I start? I was not born and raised here in Orlando. I moved to Orlando when I was a teen.
Okay.
But I had the privilege of attending Memorial Junior High School and, of course, the Jones High School.
The mighty Jones High.
Yes, class of 1990. So I grew up in 32805.
Okay.
So I love that area, what we call crosstown.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little girl from Columbia Street.
We sitting in 32805 right now. Okay. Okay. Well, I tell you what, let me ask you a different way. What do you think was one of your lowest points in your life? Something that really challenged you?
The lowest point in my life happened on December 4th, 2019, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Ooh.
That was the lowest point in my life.
I know that had to have been big because you're on top of your game.
Yes.
Everything's going good.
Thriving.
Yes.
Thriving. And I received that diagnosis on that day, and that diagnosis changed my life. It changed my perspective.
Forever changed.
Forever changed.
Okay.
So although it was traumatic, it was probably one of the best things that could have ever happened to me.
Well, expound on that.
Having breast cancer made me reprioritize my life and put me first.
Okay.
I realized over the years that I prioritized other people and things.
Okay. Put them before you.
Before everything.
Okay.
But getting up every day, not wanting to get up, that struggle, it makes you just put yourself first. And in that moment, nothing else matters.
Yes.
But getting up, eating, making sure I eat, going to have treatment, coming home, going to sleep, and just praying to wake up that next day. It will make you reprioritize, and that's what I did. Not knowing if I was going to live or die. It's a hard thing to face, but it was reality, and I chose me. I chose me.
All right. Well then, okay, so tell me, out of all of your accomplishments, what would you think would be one of your highest moments that you had?
One of my highest moments, I think professionally or personally.
You can tell me about both.
I think professionally, one of my highest moments was to be a leader in a team that helped build my organization's computer system, and a girl that did not have a technical background. I immersed myself and taught myself the functionality. And so now in the organization, when something needs to happen, I'm that go-to person because I know how it works on the front end and the back end. And nobody taught me. No one sent me to any training. I got in there and I learned it on
And I think we kind of talked about that. Didn't you go to Japan or someplace?
Yeah, I went a few places. I went to the Philippines.
And to talk about computers. I remember we talked about
I
that.
went to a few conferences, within the United States. So it was a really good thing for me. And it made me see that I can do anything. You can do anything, and no one has to give you something. If you want it, you can go get it.
And that's the professional highlight. And
Yes.
I like to brag on her. So I just can't help myself. Okay. And so this is my show. I can go ahead on and do that. But what I really like about you is that you're a self-made woman. Because you didn't start out in that position.
No.
Did you start there after high school?
No, I started in my early 20s.
Okay.
When I knew absolutely nothing. I was just looking for a job and ended up with a career. I started out, my first job at Orlando Utilities was in 1998, and I was a customer service rep, the girl you would talk to when you call,
Trying to get an
ask
extension.
about your electric bill, you need an extension.
Don't put my lights off.
Exactly.
Please, ma'am, just give me a couple more days. You were that person.
Yes, I was her. And actually, I've held probably about 8 or 9 different roles at the organization since I've been there, and that was by far my favorite job.
Yeah.
And I truly believe because I was content and grateful for that job, that's how the doors continued to open within the organization, because I just got in there and learned everything that I could possibly learn.
I really think that when you lead in leadership, you have to kind of know every job. So that's benefit you that you've worked your way. I like the fact that you're a self-made woman. No one gave you anything.
Oh no one gave me anything, and they're still not giving me anything. But now I just know how to navigate the corporate American waters.
I remember bringing my mentor group to see you.
Oh yes.
And they were so impressed with you and how you showed them around. And I remember, I don't know if you remember, but it was maybe 10 or 15 of us there in the lobby. And some guy stepped out and said something like, what is all the kids from the hood doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And Astrid, you're such a little person. And when she stepped out, and when you got him straight, you never raised your voice, but he felt this big when you got through talking to him and admonishing him for treating these young ladies that way. And he apologized to them. You made him apologize.
Absolutely.
And right then, my entire mentor group was like, I want to be just like her when I grow up. You just never know who's watching.
Right.
That was okay. So that was professionally. What about personally?
Personally, when I felt like I was at the top of my game, I really think it was when you found my house.
We had an elevator ride, y'all.
Yes.
And that short elevator ride turned us into, I don't know who we were not ourselves.
No, we weren't. But people still comment about that.
Yeah,
video.
I showed it to my team the other day.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny.
Yeah, I think I was at the top of my game then, because not only did I buy my house for me, but I bought it in mind of my brother. My brother is a paraplegic.
Yes.
And so when he visits houses on holidays, he's limited.
Yes.
Well, no longer in my house,
Because we got an elevator.
now he can travel up and down.
Yes.
It has a ramp for his wheelchair, and then I have room for my parents. I know I'm going to be the one that they want to live with, and they are getting up in age.
And you got room for them
And
right
I
there.
have room for them, and they
And you don't have to worry about the steps.
That's
They
right.
can come up on the
They
elevator.
can come up on the elevator. So I was able to do something that I felt was bigger than me.
And you are so blessed to have your parents.
I am.
I don't have a mother. I am a parentless child. So you are so blessed. You have your mother and your father.
Yes.
That's big.
Yeah.
Okay, well, great. I'll ask you this last question.
Yes.
If you could talk to someone out there that's striving to make it professionally and personally, what would be a little nugget that you would give them?
I think the biggest nugget that I could give to someone is do not compare yourself to others.
Okay.
Don't look at someone else's story or their journey or what they have or what they're doing. It's not important to your destiny at all. It's not important. It has zero value and zero benefit. And so if you put forth that effort into you, like make sure that your ROI on you, that you invest in yourself so you can get a large return on that investment, instead of worrying about what others are doing, you'll reach your goals that way. I truly believe in that. My friends laugh at me and say that I don't care, and it's not that I don't care. It's just that I'm not interested in what anyone else is doing. I'm focused on my goals focused on my goals, and I have, support system around me to cheer me on, and that's what you need. Never compare yourself to anyone else, because what belongs to you will never pass you by.
Okay, and I just want to put on the record today that I am Astrid's best friend. For all those other people out there that think they are, it's me, okay? I'm so thankful that you were here. I gave away a little nugget of my own today, because now everybody's going to know when I say all those really profound statements, who I come and get them from, okay? All right, Astrid, I am so thankful that you were here. This is what this show is about. I want someone that's watching to be able to hear something that this little girl that's so proud of
Columbia
Street, graduated from the great Jones High School, is keeping our city lit, okay? She's a big boss, and she's too modest to say it, so she's my little big sister, and I love you. And thank you so much. Tell people about the show. And I want to thank our audience for tuning in. I want you to continue to tune in, because we've got more good things to come. I'll see you next week. Thank you.